Well, seeing as we just got back from intermission, I would like to ask you guys again to please silence your cell phones. I'm going to take it one step further though. Please be mindful of your ringtones. Make sure that they are appropriate for whatever scenario that you're in. I don't make any bones about my life story. I am a recovered alcoholic. I have 2.5 years sober. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. And I attend AA meetings. And at the beginning of every AA meeting, we ask people to please silence their cell phones. Well, one day somebody didn't, and it did not end well. We begin every meeting by saying the Serenity Prayer. And that day, it went a little bit like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. I think somebody relapsed because of a ringtone. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't me, but it was probably somebody else. Man, give it up one more time for the other comedians that came on before I did, guys. Let them know. Let them know. Oh, man. Now, Randy Carbone, actually, he and I met once before at the men's locker room of a Planet Fitness. He took one look at me and he asked me if I would single-handedly win his company picnic's 3-legged race. Kevin Fagley is a fantastic friend of mine. I'm honored to call her a friend. I love hanging out with Kevin because I love seeing how genuinely proud complete strangers are of her, thinking that she's transitioning. She and I went to Starbucks one time and they said, "Can I get a name for the order?" She said, "Kevin." And the guy reached across the counter and touched her shoulder and said, "Good for you." I actually have also decided that I no longer identify as a man. I've decided that I identify as the Little Caesars. My pronouns are hot and ready. I come cheap. And let's be honest, a large pizza is more likely to satisfy a woman than I ever could. I do not understand why people get so bent out of shape about pronouns. I really don't. About a year ago, a very good friend of mine came out to me as transgender, and I told her I was going to love her and support her no matter what. And, then she started the hormone therapy. And I'm not going to say it's not going well. I'm just going to put it to you this way. I want you to envision in your mind, have you ever been driving in a town that you're not familiar with, and you stop at a red light, and you look over to your right, and you see a building, and it might say Kyle Bentley, attorney at law, it might say Joey's Fish Shack, but you know, deep down in your heart of hearts, that used to be a Pizza Hut. I'm sure you guys noticed that I did 2 pizza jokes back to back. I am, in fact, trying to get an endorsement deal. I had to work on something because I originally had a deal with HGTV. I was working on a spin-off of My Lottery Dream Home with them. It was an original pitch. You guys, I'm sure you've seen that show. Somebody wins a Powerball, they get to buy this big old fancy house, whatever. Well, I had pitched them an idea for a spin-off called My Celibate Dream Home, where a redneck couple gets to remodel their trailer to their specifications because somebody slipped in piss at Walmart. And, Larry the Cable Guy was going to host it. We had the whole deal worked out. But the pilot fell apart when the couple got into an argument while we were shooting. "I told you, Darlene, we cannot afford the triple wide. I got to put a new transmission in my goddamn truck." So I'm looking at other avenues. What do other comedians do? I decided I was going to write a book. And I thought, what could I write my book about? Chelsea Handler wrote a book about her sex life, and it became a New York Times bestseller. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try my hand at that. And when I sat down to start my research, I realized that a book about my sex life would read more like a self-help manual, if you get my meaning. I was trying to think of titles. I decided, I thought about titling it 7 Masturbatory Habits of Highly Effective People. But I decided that the best title would be Just a Minute! My ex-wife asked if she could write the prologue. She titled it, Why Is This Door Locked? My dad asked if he could write the epilogue. He called it, Get out of the damn shower! You don't pay the water bill. My dad is cheap. Dirt cheap. I love him, but he's a cheap man. And you would never know it growing up. I grew up in a big 2-story house, fenced-in backyard, swimming pool, all that stuff. I was the guy that all the kids wanted to come hang out at my house. And even that nice house did not keep me from being one of the less popular kids at my school. So much so that one Saturday night my house got toilet paper. And I see that some other people have experienced that pain. My heart goes out to you. But the way that I found out that my house had been toilet paper is that I went outside on Sunday morning and saw my dad in a tree with the ladder re-rolling the toilet paper. We did not, swear to God, we did not buy toilet paper for 6 months. And my dad was so happy. So happy, I wanted him to continue being happy. So I started giving the kids that didn't like me ideas. Hey, that Chris Roberts kid, we should egg his house. But instead of throwing the eggs, let's just put a couple cartons on the doorstep. The shits are expensive. While we're at it, go ahead and set a case of beer by the eggs. His dad will hate that. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm a little anxious. I'm a little anxious tonight. Not doing the set. I'm very comfortable on stage. I'm anxious because I have to go to Walmart when I leave here tonight. I feel a lot like Walmart to me is tantamount with going back out with an ex. You have to warm yourself up to it. You tell yourself, they were a different person then. It's going to be different this time. Big old smile on your face. And so you go out a couple times and things are going well. All four wheels on the cart are pointing in the same direction, if you know what I mean. And but then you go out that one time and you're just like, oh yeah, this bitch is as crazy as I remember. Every time you hang out with them, you start thinking about other big box stores. Like, I wonder what Target's doing tonight. Really gotta give her a call sometime. Man, like Drew just said, I recently moved to the Greenville area, but I love the Myrtle Beach area. I really, really do. This is my favorite time of year for the Myrtle Beach area. This is the time of year where people are scrambling to hire before the upcoming summer season. And I discovered recently that it is not just restaurants, hotels, beachwear stores that have to scramble to hire. So I was in a strip club a month or so ago, and this one girl caught my eye, and so she had one move. She just spent the whole song just doing this, just the whole song, not looking at anybody, just sort of, And I kind of felt bad for her. So, I tossed a couple singles at her, and she gets off stage and she walks up to me and she goes, "Thank you so much. I'm making so much money tonight." And I just looked at her, I said, "That's a really weird thing to say to a customer at a strip club." And she said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Am I not supposed to say that? It's my first day." I said, your first day at the club? "No, I was a waitress. This is my first day ever stripping." And then she said, "Would you like a live dance?" And I thought to myself, I was like, well, if this is her first day, maybe in the VIP room they're going to have some on-the-job training, get a little 2-for-1 special. I was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. Guys, I knew I was in trouble when she went to take her dress off and she kept tripping over her heels. And I realized I was even in worse shape when the lap dance starts and she's doing her thing for a few minutes. And then she turns around and she starts going like this. And then she looks over at me and she goes, I'm trying to think of other sexy shit to do. You got any ideas? I said, no. No, I don't. But the worst part was that as I'm getting up to leave after the dance, she goes, bring it in right here. I said, you just spent the better half of a Nickelback song grinding on my crotch, and you want to end it with a fist bump. So we pounded it out, and I went on my way. I mean, what else can you do? Now that I'm back in town, I might go back and see how she's doing. Maybe she's still over there. But yeah, in case the strip club jokes and the not being very popular in high school jokes were not a dead giveaway, I am in fact single. Single dad, actually. I have 2 kids. Love my kids, man, more than anything in this world. My son is 12, and he's like the greatest kid ever. He opens doors for veterans. He does well in school. He obeys his parents. My daughter is 10, and she's an effing savage. I don't know how I'm going to handle her as she gets older. A couple weeks ago, I'm getting ready to go out with some friends, not at the strip club. And I'm brushing my hair in the bathroom mirror, and she walks in and she says, what are you doing tonight, Daddy? I said, oh, Daddy and some friends are going to go out and have some fun, and who knows, maybe I'll meet somebody special. This little girl, 10 years old, looks me right in the eyes and goes, Daddy, we both know you don't get bitches. I said, hey, wait a minute. First of all, that kind of language is not allowed in this house, young lady. Second of all, your daddy gets bitches all the time. So I'll talk to you about it because you're 10. Oh, man. Yeah, I was on some dating apps. I was on Tinder, but I decided I needed to stay off of Tinder. Every time I got on Tinder, it was like visiting the land of Oz. Being a straight male, I pay more attention to the women, and they remind me of Judy Garland in a lot of ways, because they show up on their profiles and they've got their cute little shoes, and they're showing off their cute little dogs, and they're looking for rich old men who will pay for their drugs. But I feel worse for the women who are looking for men on Tinder, because if I'm stuck with Dorothy, that means they're stuck with lions, scarecrows, and tin men. That's right, they have men with no heart, no courage, and no brains to ask them out in the first place. You can take your chance with the lollipop guild, but most women don't want to date a short guy. I don't understand it. MTM, I had the worst dream. A couple asked me to be their third, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there. Unicorns, cougars, and bears, oh my. Yeah, but it's pretty wild, I actually dated a girl for a while that I met on Tinder, and we did a lot of texting in the beginning, and then when we finally decided to meet, she told me beforehand, she said, just so you know, I do have a speech impediment. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want you to think less of me before we met. And we met. She's beautiful, charming, very funny. Speech impediment didn't bother me at all. We wound up dating for about 6 months. But unfortunately, I had to end things because one night I told her I loved her and she just couldn't say it back. Oh, come on, that was funny! God, give me some room to breathe. I dated another girl, and we bonded because we're both big Star Wars nerds. We talked in the beginning, what's your favorite movie, who's your favorite character, who shot first, if you know, you know. I did not realize what a big Star Wars fan she was until I got her naked for the first time and I saw all of the Star Wars tattoos. She had Luke Skywalker on this side, and Princess Leia on this side, and an homage to Chewbacca right now. Do you know how hard it is to go down on a woman when you have Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher making direct eye contact with you the entire time? I'm hitting it from behind with the Obi-Wan Kenobi tattoo on her shoulder and going, use the Force. I'm like, I'm trying, Obi-Wan. And the Yoda tramp stamp says, do or do not, there is no trying. That's my Yoda impression for you guys. I hope it was worth the $35. Yeah, but, you know, I've just got to stay off of my phone in general. Tinder's not working out. I feel like we as Americans are entirely too addicted to our screens. Can we all agree on that? You know, I actually, when I have to use AI, I'm actually very polite. Is that weird? Is that weird? Is anybody else polite to AI? But the way that I see it, when the eventual robot uprising does occur, I want them to be lenient because I was nice to them when they were starting out. You know, they've got us all lined up going to internment camps, and all of a sudden one of them stands up and points and goes, "No, not that one. He always said please." Thank you, Alexa. I owe you one. I have a theory on why we're all addicted to our screens. I think maybe God watches TV too. You know, if he does, and there's a channel for each and every one of us, he's got 8 billion channels. He's got a better package than anybody. He's always got something to watch. And if that's true, God owns a TV. I'm the guy he turns on for background noise while he does shit around his house. He turns me on, he just starts vacuuming. You know, every now and then he looks up just to see if anything's interesting happening. Ironing his robes, and looks up and he goes, Don't do that. Don't download Tinder again. We both know you don't get bitches. No, don't swipe right on that one. That one used to be a Pizza Hut. Guys, my name is Chris Roberts. God bless you. Thank you so very much.